Hello. All right, so we're just going to get started here, just talking about a few rules and how we're going to be interacting with her, little Miss Madoka, when she comes home, and how we're going to continue all of this training. She's a very good little girl. She's very smart, very fun, very driven. But as we talked about, she's definitely very much a working dog, and she needs something to do with her life. So what we're going to start with is the rules of giving commands, the hierarchy of commands. Then we're going to go over some potty training stuff before I start filming her, like all the commands and stuff that she's learned. So let me talk about the rules of giving commands. The first one is don't yell. So this little girl, she really likes to get a rise out of people. So what that means is that if you get frustrated with her, she feels that she has won in that point. So stay calm. We're going to say the command calmly. If she doesn't comply, there are some things that we can do to help fix that. The second one is don't repeat. So that kind of goes with the same as, don't yell, because otherwise you're going to get frustrated. And if you're repeating yourself, generally it's because she's not complying and we're getting frustrated. So we only want to say the command once. And then if she doesn't comply, then we will go into our hierarchy of commands, which I'll talk about in a moment. Hi, I know, hello. So our next one is don't ask. So it's kind of like the opposite of don't yell. Like, we don't want to be too forceful, but we also don't want to be complacent either. It's a command, so sit down. Not can you sit? Can you lay down? Because she's going to basically say, well, I can, but I'm not gonna. So, and then the last one is be quick to mark. So what that means is the moment that she's doing the right thing, we want to let her know that she's making good decisions, and being able to reward her. So her verbal marker is yes or good. That just lets her know that she's doing the right thing. So the moment her butt hits the ground for a sit, the moment that she goes into a down, you'll hear me say good, and then I follow up with some sort of reward. All that is building a bridge between the behavior and the command. She's doing really, really good with all of that. So, and you'll see a lot of those rules come into play when I break them and when I stick to them, when we start actually working on the behaviors. So, let's talk about potty training a little bit. So she's very young right now, so that's definitely still going to be something she struggles with for a little while. Is pretty normal at this age. She's doing much better. You're going to be utilizing your crate a lot. So let's talk about when should we take her out, how often should we take her out. So the basic rule of thumb is every 2 hours right now. We want to make sure that she's getting out. But that doesn't necessarily mean every 2 hours. So what that means is anytime energy shifts. So if at marker 1 hour, she eats her lunch, you want to make sure you take her out right after that and give her a chance to go to the bathroom. Now, she is the type of dog that she gets very distracted outside. So a lot of times what I'll do is she'll be distracted, she'll be running around, and if she doesn't go to the bathroom, I'll bring her inside. I will count to 20, and then I'll bring her right back outside so that she can actually go to the bathroom. Sometimes puppies forget, so we need to give them that break inside so that they remember that, oh yes, I actually had to go to the bathroom, and then we can bring her back in. If you do not have your eyes directly on her, she needs to either be in her crate or in a little X-pen area where she can't make those bad decisions. She still does need a potty break overnight. She gets a last potty break probably right around midnight, and then she's been getting a potty break at 5 a.m. as well. But she is doing much, much better. We're not having to wake up every couple hours at night now. So continue that. Things will continue to kind of work their way forward as long as we're consistent with how often we're taking her out. So when we clean an accident, if she has an accident in the house, we want to make sure that we're using an enzymatic cleaner like Nature's Miracle. If we're using something like bleach or Pine Sol or something like that, unfortunately that does not actually kill the urine molecules, so they can still smell where they've gone to the bathroom, and dogs will go to the bathroom where it smells like a bathroom. So make sure that we're cleaning with the right thing, and then we will slowly start adding space to her world as she can prove to us that she can handle 1 room of the house, 2 rooms of the house, 3 rooms of the house, until we're able to leave her out. The other big thing is that I would potty her separately from Yuna right now, because she does get very distracted by other dogs. She just wants to play really hard. So when we really do need her to go to the bathroom, I would suggest taking her out by herself, away from Yuna. That might change as we get older, but as of right now, it's just going to be best for her so that she can focus on the task at hand. So some other things I wanted to chat with you about, as far as kind of what our plans moving forward are. She's doing so good for her age, but she is still just a baby, so she's going to need a lot more work kind of coming up into our adolescent years. So we do have some follow-ups that we can start working on, and I know we talked about some more day training in the future as well. I'm not seeing a ton of leash issues at the moment. She's walking pretty nicely and following me, but again, she's a puppy. Following me comes naturally to her right now. So as she starts to become more independent, we might see some behaviors of her trying to push those boundaries and those limits a little bit. I know, I see you, cute girl. She's playing with a toy right now. It's very adorable. But okay, awesome. So, the last thing is that when we went to the vet, she got her Bordetella and her distemper parvo, and I think she needs another one in, it was 3 weeks, so probably another 2 weeks she'll need another shot. I did mention to the vet that I had upped her food to 2 cups 3 times a day, so she's getting a lot of food, basically 6 cups a day. Unfortunately, she's not eating it all, because she's just not hungry enough, and he mentioned that that's pretty typical for German Shepherds, which I tend to agree. So something we may want to talk about in the future is with your vet is maybe putting a supplement of some sort on her food, because she definitely is a leaner girl, and isn't gaining the weight that I would really like to see on a young puppy, just because she won't intake enough food for that. So splitting up your meals is going to be important to those 3 times a day to make sure that she's at least getting enough food. But I think she's always going to be a lean little girl, but I just typically like to see a little bit more on my puppies. But again, something to talk with your vet about, and kind of go from there about what's going to be best. But he mentioned that he wasn't too worried about it at the moment. And then that's pretty much it for that. So let's get started.